Where's my hair? Hello Internet! Welcome back to Mutton Shop Gaming. I'm the Mutton Shop Gamer, and this is finals week. I should be studying, not making a freaking video. Okay, free flash games. You find them on the browsers online, odds are you played those quite a bit. But these games are rather short, and so I'm just going to be doing 10 random flash games, not my top 10, not my bottom 10. These are just 10 flash games I found online, and because they're so small, instead of giving them the usual grading score of A through F, I'm going to let them be pass or fail. Now, I'm going to exclude free-to-play games like Candy Crush, and I'm also going to be excluding demos for full-priced games. So, without further ado, let's get right started. Snake Trouble. There is no narrative, it's just a modern take on the old classic Snake. You are a snake-eating mice, and that's it. Aesthetically, the one song that plays on the title screen is pretty good, and the sprites all look nice and fit together. However, every level only changes by the background, and so it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a change of scenery every 1,000 points. The thing I like about it is that the designers asked, why must Snake be played on a grid? Let's let the player control the game with a mouse instead. I feel this twist makes the game fresh, fun, and challenging. Although you must be careful where your cursor goes to, because if it goes off screen, you may as well count it as a game over. The head likes to jump back when it returns to the place you weren't expecting it to be. But it's a minor complaint if you're being careful, so I give the game a pass. Peasants Quest. You are rather dashing, the peasant whose cottage was burned down by Trogdor while you were out on vacation. So now you are off to kill him as revenge. It's a parody of King's Quest with everything old DOS adventure games were, and I rather enjoy it. Aesthetically, there's only a song or two, but they work alright enough in the style of old computers. The visuals are almost the opposite of photorealistic, going back in time graphically, but they all work for the kind of parody game this is supposed to be. Gameplay controls well enough. You move around with the arrow keys, but you move automatically after one hit. If you keep holding it, rather dashing will stutter about. You also type in commands down here, but if you mess up, you can't use backspace. You have to use delete. I don't know if this parodies old games with that little thing, but it's an inconvenience. Some puzzles are obtuse, but you can figure it out in a few hours. Pass. It's the HD remake that I fear.
Where's my cottage?
God's playing field! You go to heaven to try to bring your friend back to life. You're left alone for a while, and so you start playing around on God's computer. The sound design is pretty good, but the visuals have that purposefully bad quality to them that plagued the internet a while back. Sure, it may have been all the designer could do at the time, but I find that unlikely given that this style was so widespread. In terms of gameplay, it's simple, but gets boring fast. You kill a bunch of people with a variety of methods, although my personal favorite is the burning pillar. You unlock more items the more you kill, but it just shows more animations of how to kill people. Either more items needed to be put in, or they should have had them all unlocked from the get-go. Fail. Speaking of purposefully bad art styles, the Impossible Quiz! There is no story, you're just playing a quiz game. The visuals aren't too bad if you like the art style, but as I said, I'm not a fan. Sound design is pretty good. In terms of gameplay, I get that it's supposed to be an impossible quiz, and most of the answers are jokes. However, you can only get through the game with trial and error, and some questions are timed, which means you won't be able to figure it out in the time limit. It's too punishing to be that fun. Fail. Portal, the Flash version. Based on Portal, you're a test subject going through the Aperture Science test labs with a portal gun. The visuals all fit together nicely, and the sound design is pretty decent. However, the thing about Portal is that the puzzles were based on perspective and point of view. Here, puzzles are based on where can I put portals down to time me getting to the exit. It misses the big part about Portal, and it may have been a better game if they had just called it something different. Albeit, people would probably claim it a ripoff. Which it is, but people don't call it that because it calls itself the Flash version of the game. Fail. 2048. There's absolutely no story, you're just trying to get the number 2048 on the board. Aesthetically, there's no sound. At all. The visuals tie in together nicely though, and it all looks like it fits in. In terms of gameplay, random number tiles appear on the board and you use arrow keys to move all the tiles in that direction until they either hit another number or the edge of the grid. Equal numbers combine to make a number equal to both of their parts, and you have to keep combining tiles until you get to 2048, which is harder than it seems. The game is addicting nonetheless and pretty fun, so Pass. Reincarnation, All Hallows Evil. There's a series of these games, all about the same quality. I just chose this one because of reasons. The story is that you are a demon who has to bring reincarnated souls back to hell by finding something they've done that is evil, then killing them in such a way that it looks like an accident. The visuals have a nice style to them, and sound design is also really good. Oh, and I love this demon's voice!
Looks like the reincarnate has trouble sleeping. I hope I can be of some assistance later on.
In terms of gameplay, it's a point-and-click adventure game that has some difficult puzzles, which they include a walkthrough to if you're into that sort of thing. But the puzzles aren't impossible. I give this game, and the series, a hearty pass. RPG Shooter Star Wish. The story is that you're a space pirate, the Federation doesn't like pirates, and they shoot you down to another planet and you need to get back on the old horse again. It may go farther than that, but it did get farther than that. Aesthetically speaking, the game looks and sounds nice, albeit it looks slightly ripped off from Final Fantasy. In terms of gameplay, it's a space shooter using RPG elements. One might enjoy it, but after 7 minutes of playing, I only had a minute or two of gameplay. The rest was in story and text boxes. Now, you might like that sort of thing, but a flash game is supposed to be a fast little distraction that is fun. And while being told a story is fun, if I wanted to be told a story in 7 minutes, I'd watch a 7-minute YouTube video. But Peasants Quest is a long story, and it passed! I hear you cry. Yes, but Peasants Quest was funny and gameplay focused. Shooter Star Wish's humor is about as funny as me telling you that my grandmother died. That's not funny at all, you reply. Exactly! Fail! Arrival in Hell! You are a prisoner where a bloodthirsty beast has broken free, and you need to find a way out of there. Aesthetics are a mixed bag to me. They look styled well, but why are the game visuals and the cutscenes different? This is a Flash game. And why have a gradient used here for shading, but put dark lines for shading on other objects in the same scene? It just adds some visual dissonance for me, although sound design is really good. In terms of gameplay, it's a point-and-click adventure, and it's pretty straightforward in terms of puzzles. However, the window is so small and the cursor is so big that precise clicking is difficult. It's bloody, full of foul language, and while you'll enjoy it for the first time, it's not that good for subsequent playthroughs. There's not much to call you back. I have to fail it. Balloon Pop! No story, you're just a balloon popping other balloons. Sound design is alright. The music loop can drain on you after a while, but that's the good thing about these browser-based games. You can use your computer's soundboard to turn it off. In terms of gameplay, this Flash game does something that not a lot of other Flash games have done. Online multiplayer! That's right, you can enter in your gamer tag and actually try to pop other people. 3 clicks and they're dead, but if you can see them, they can see you, and they will be trying to kill you in this free-for-all mode. Oh, if you want to move the balloon at all, you have to push the button. Not press the button! Push the button to move one grid space over in one direction, then push it again to move that space again, and keep doing that over and over. It doesn't keep moving by holding down the arrow keys, and I feel that makes the game not play as smoothly as it should. If the devs fix this, then the game will pass. As it stands right now, though, it gets a fail. There. That should do me until my hair grows back to a decent length for these videos again. Alright, see you next week. If you are hearing this, it means my finals are done. So like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for another video next week.